Hi, my name's Emma Cowling, and I'm going to talk to you about creating an environment for innovation. To give you a bit of background on why this is relevant for me, so I'm now a coach and facilitator, but over the last nearly 20 years, I've been working in research and development environments and with the universities, trying to connect people up to those that have the ideas with those that need the ideas and want to deliver kind of new value into the world. This is an area which I've had a lot of experience in, and it's close to my heart. And there's some new kind of ideas that I'm seeing coming through in the work that I'm doing, which I think can be really relevant here, especially for companies who are thinking about how do I create the right environment to encourage my staff to have innovative thoughts and to come up with those new products in the next, I don't know, however many years that you're looking ahead. So for me, let me just start by thinking about, well, what is innovation? And for me, I've already slightly alluded to it, but I think that innovation has to have an idea, a spark there, and it also has to deliver value. It has to go out and deliver value. It doesn't need to be financial value. It could be societal or cultural value, but it has to deliver value for people. And to me, those two things need to be present in order to create innovation. So let's just break that down. So if you want to create an environment for innovation, the first thing you need to think about is, how do you create an environment for ideas? Now, stepping back, just having a think about, well, where are you when you have your best ideas? Now, the majority of people you speak to will say, actually, I have ideas in the shower, or I wake up in the middle of the night with a fantastic idea, or it's when I'm on holiday. For me personally, I love to go for a run, because that's quite often where the meditative kind of repetitive nature of running and breathing and just not thinking, suddenly ideas will spark in my head. But for other people, I had the idea of washing the car, but just being in a place where you're switched off from the overwhelm and the pressure of the day-to-day thinking. And that's when ideas often kind of bubble up to the surface and the really good ideas come through. And that's where I want to start. I want to think, so just thinking about, okay, well, what's the underpinning thing? I mean, it's not necessarily that in order for me to have ideas, I need to go for a run. I will have them in a shower. I will also, I found climbing or dancing a really good kind of place to get those sparks. And very often what it was about was my state of mind and where my state of mind was at the time of that idea. And that state of mind was often much more settled, not thinking too hard. There was space and openness. And getting into that state of mind, that's what those activities would do. So we have an idea, and then very often we'll start to talk to people about it. And by bouncing those ideas off other people, those ideas start to evolve. And there's a real value that comes from sharing the idea, sharing what you're thinking, and kind of getting that kind of evolution of seeing where this idea can go, especially when we're talking about tech and innovation. And if you, I don't know if you have a team but when I was working with my teams, when I had a team of 30 people, the thing that I really encourage them to do is to develop those ideas and then spark off each other, share them and get different perspectives and kind of take them on their way. And again, in order to do that, you need a particular state of mind. You need to be open to having the conversation with others. You need to be kind of ready for someone to kind of laugh at your idea, and to encourage them not to laugh at your idea and to help you to evolve it and take it to that next level. And that sort of takes me on to the next bit, which is the value. So we've had the idea, we've got a bit of feedback, we think it might be going somewhere, but how do we turn it into something which then brings value to other people? And that's where I think that's kind of where I've done most of my work. Having worked in an R&D environment and then worked with academics who are wanting to get their ideas out there, they often have these amazing kind of thoughts and the concepts that they come up with, but then knowing how to deliver them to people, knowing how to put them in a format where people will buy them or invest the time that's needed to get hold of them, that's a real challenge. And again, we're coming back to, this is about delivering to other people. So we need to be able to go out there and take those ideas into the world and get feedback on what it is that people want. And again, this is where the ideas start to evolve, and feedback and listening is even more important. There's a particular example that I have when I was very early in my career, where we took a particular product. We had the idea, we had the time, a small bit of investment to put together a product and a prototype that we could take out and get feedback and see whether this was a goer. And we had some fantastic kind of, people thought this demo was super, super pretty. They could see the concept and where it might be going. But as time went along, the feedback that we were getting was difficult to take on board. We struggled with it. They liked the idea. They liked the thing, but they wouldn't pay for it. The thing that we were offering, which was in the CCTV market, what we had was going to be expensive, and that market couldn't pay for it. And we found that out through a long process of conversations and talking and kind of understanding what it is that they wanted. And in reality, we didn't really listen. We still wanted to get this idea out there because we thought it was a great idea. Now, let's just step back from that a moment and think about, well, so what was going on there? Well, we were under pressure. We'd had the investment. We were under pressure to deliver and to get it. If we wanted more investment and to take this idea out, actually get this idea out there for even further, we needed to prove that this was an idea that people wanted. So we were into proving. We weren't into kind of listening for feedback and thinking about how we could evolve it. And that caught us up into a series of investment in time over months and months where we really weren't clear where we were going and what we were doing. And I've seen this happen so many times since then with academics, and this is the work that I tried to help them with, taking an idea, trying to spin it out, and getting so caught up on that one idea that they originally had, and not seeing that actually this was a process that they were going through, where the idea was the first starting point, which engages conversation, which then allows people to feedback, and then you can listen to that feedback and take it and it evolves into something more, which then truly does deliver value. Instead, it's very common to get caught up on that initial single idea and not allow it to evolve. So again, the thing I'm pointing to here is state of mind. So when we're feeling defensive and insecure and afraid of failure, we have pressure put upon us to kind of deliver on the thing that's had the investment. We get very caught up on making sure that it definitely works and it stays as this idea that we came up with. There's a huge amount of ego involved in there as well. I need to prove that my idea is the idea, not something which is collaboratively generated. And so that's really what I'm coming back to as a core behind all of this, is that really, if we want to encourage an environment for innovation, we need to think about the environment and the state of mind that we're encouraging in people in order to do that. So, and this for me is really key and something that I think companies aren't seeing. So if we encourage an environment of pressure, of kind of fear of failure, need to deliver on your goals, the always on mentality, always working, the need to kind of prove yourself against other people, then that just isn't creating an environment for innovation. That is creating a state of mind which is full of thoughts rushing around our heads, where there's no space for ideas, and then at the same time we're feeling insecure and defensive, and so we're not open to feedback and we're not open to listening. Whereas if we can create an environment where there is space to think, there's no pressure to deliver on these new ideas. We're open to feedback. We collaborate. We build as a team, and we bounce ideas off each other. That's where the innovation comes from. And companies have seen this. So the kind of the Google time that I don't know if it still exists, but the idea that people have half a day a week or a day a week in which they can do their own thing. This is being kind of rolled out across other companies. And we tried to roll it out, in fact, once, but it's about not just copying, here you go, have the time. It's about creating the environment and the state of mind for that person. If that person's a busy person anyway, taking a day out a week isn't going to help them because they're going to feel like they're dropping all these other things as well. So other examples that people use are kind of putting table tennis tables and pool tables within their work environment, creating sofas, creating a kind of a more general atmosphere that they can relax in and kind of chat and collaborate. And all of these are great things, but the thing I'm pointing to is understanding why they work and why, and if you understand what they are trying to create, then you might find that those approaches aren't for your company and that actually there's other things that can be done. So that's kind of what my message is. So if you want to create more innovation and more ideas and turning into value in your company, then the thing you need to start thinking about is what's the state of mind of your employees? Do they have the space to be open and to are they encouraged to listen? Does your culture allow them to collaborate? Does it give them are they constantly under pressure, or are they given the space to think and to connect with the things that are really important and to allow them to bubble up? So that's kind of what I wanted to say. I'd be really interested in any feedback on any ideas that you have around this. So my contact details are here. Please do feel free to find me on Twitter or drop me an email or on LinkedIn. And I'd love to continue the conversation. And if you're interested in knowing anything more about state of mind and how we can encourage that culture within our environment and within your company, then please do get in touch. And I hope this leads to some great innovations. Thank you.